Let's do this. Good morning, Rob and Andy.
Morning.
It's happy what? Oh, it's a holiday. Oh, I totally forgot. Oh, okay. I just thought I didn't know. Not yeah. I think I saw Biden. That's right. Biden was doing something at the Ebenezer Baptist Church yesterday, and he was talking about Martin Luther King. I think that's what. I don't know. I just kind of looked at him in a minute. No, but he said, I did not hide those documents. Just like Clinton, I did not sleep with that hooker. Yes, he did. I knew about Monica Lewinsky before it even came out. Because a friend of mine was actually, I can't mention his name, but he was actually working with Bill and Hillary. He was one of their personal aides. Yeah, he'd tell me all kind of stuff. It'd say, like, when there's an unknown source, it was always one of them that would go to the media and spread the news, but it was unnamed, right? So, who, my friend? Well, he's the one that told me that you could just disappear and never know. Anybody know where he ever went. I'm not kidding him. I'm not mentioning any more about him. Don't try it. He lives in Georgia. It's so funny because before they all left, it's like before they all left, they all got these cushy jobs, right? And I won't tell you, but anymore. But anyway, let me tell you something about Bo Penny. He's back in the news again. Do you know who Bo Penny is? Poiny.
Yeah, we've spoken about before.
Yeah. So Bo is a biblical cycle timing expert.
It's like Baba Vanga.
No. He's not a Baba Vanga. He's well, he could be a Nostra. I don't know. He goes by the Bible. And he is also a geopolitical and financial analyst. And he's used by a lot of the banks, a lot of different sources. But anyhow, he has made some really freakishly correct predictions. Baba Vanga just like blind and just sees it in her head, but she's dead. She's been dead for a long time. But one of his biggest was in February of 2020. And that's when Bo, actually said that the whole world, they're watching us. They're already saying good morning. Okay. That the whole world was about to change forever. I could have said that probably. If you're a psychic or whatever, the whole world's going to change. But anyway, he said it was going to change forever. And this was regarding the CV-19 injections, the lockdowns, the masks, the social distancing, the bioweapon that he calls a bioweapon, the backs that followed. And he could not have been more correct. And we have to look now forward to where we are right now in 2023 and beyond, he says. And in short, he says the money system that we have today is about to change, listen to this, you guys, in a biblical way. All right? Yeah, I know you're interested in this one. And he says it's about to change in a biblical way. And he explains, he says, I think, not I know, but I think, saving his ass, he's covering his ass that way. I think that the Russians who have their ruble attached to gold are the only ones that are going to weather the storm. And he says that is coming in the very near horizon. Now think about it.
He said this in 2020.
He said that. And here's the interesting thing. Russia and China right now have been buying up gobs of gold. Mm-hmm. He says they're the only ones that are going to weather the storm and that is coming very soon and very soon coming on the very near horizon. And all other currencies are paperback and they're fiat. And he says they attach nothing to gold. And as a result, they have been able to take the money system and print it and print it and print it. like we talk about all the time. They're just printing money all the time. And he says, what have they done with it? Well, he says they have been enslaving and buying everybody. Makes sense, doesn't it? So the entire world, as we know today, is captured. And he said, this is why no man can come in like a 45th President Trump and say, wow, let's drain the swamp. The problem is that the swamp is not only in Washington, but what is it? This has been going in my head a lot too. It's worldwide. It's a worldwide swamp. The network. And all those little network minions are all over in Davos this week.
They did in Brazil.
Yeah.
With their swamp over there.
Oh my God.
They tried to have
They didn't try. They had it, and Bolsonaro lost, and he's here in Florida right now. And as soon as he gets back on land, guess what? He's arrested. He's gone. He's going to need some kind of amnesty, and I doubt the United States is going to allow him to stay in the United States. This is the Biden administration we're talking about. Not only that, I don't know if you knew this, but they just arrested his minister. He turned himself in. Yeah, the president's prime minister has now been arrested. That was done yesterday, actually. So, he says the problem is not only in Washington, but it's a worldwide swamp. I sound like a preacher today, don't I? Wow. He says it's everywhere. He says everything is captured and he says, and how do they do it? How do they do it? They do it with the money.
That's right.
That's how they're capturing everybody, right?
That's right.
He says, do you have a student loan?
Well, you're trapped.
Exactly. You're enslaved. Do you have a mortgage? You are enslaved. Do you have a credit card? You are enslaved. Think about it. Those debit cards are basically Visa, MasterCards, right? You are enslaved. You have to understand that all the money you think you owe, the banks actually created it out of thin air. And he predicts that if we, the world, do not have a biblical intervention, and he says, I literally mean the hand of God coming down on earth like the Red Sea. He says Moses did not part the Red Sea. God did. Oh, I feel like I'm on a podium. God did it.
I think you missed your calling.
Should have. I think so. Anyway, he says, if Moses did not part the Red Sea, God did it. I love saying that. God did it. And he said, if we don't have a moment like the Red Sea parts by the hand of God and then closes on the evil ones of the world, the next step is like Nazi Germany and concentration camps.
Scary.
Well, guess what? In Brazil, they have these camps.
Yep.
If you were protesting against Luna and going for Bolsonaro, you got put into a camp. Well, guess what? China put people in camps.
Yeah.
Australia has camps. New Zealand has camps. So these camps are already camping. People are already camping out at these camps. And he said, this is...
Can I just add one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Most people don't know this, but in the story of, you talked about the parting of the Red Sea,
Yeah.
and the Jewish people being led out of Egypt.
Yeah.
4/5 of the people of Israel died in Egypt. Only 1/5, 20% actually left, because the rest of them were so much still in darkness that
So they stayed and partied.
They stayed, and they couldn't wake up. They were too much in their own enslavement, and they couldn't leave.
We talk about darkness all the time.
So I mean, this enslavement we're in now, a lot of people are going to stay asleep, and they're going to stay slaves, and
Why?
It's not going to
Andy,
be pretty because they don't want to wake up and they don't want to see
well,
the
why
truth.
do you think they stay slaves?
It's because this is what their whole life has been.
But who is
The
enslaving?
people, the media,
Yeah.
Hollywood.
That's what he says. He says,
Yeah.
this is what they're doing. This is what they're pushing for. He says, however, Andy, I don't mean it right. He says, however, because God loves us, he will not allow this to happen. So what are we about to witness is the glory of God. Evil is not going to win ever. And he talks about what's coming for Bitcoin, gold, silver, and the U.S. dollar and the rebirth of America. And he says the possibility that you can go see Bo Penny, just Google him, Bopoiny. But he said, and there's a video, and I can't go on because it's a 45-minute video. I just took like excerpts from the video myself after listening to it and just want to share it with the folks, right? But he says the possibility of President Trump returning to office and some very important dates to watch for. He said these are, and by the way, these are just some of the things, and he goes into it. So you might want to go on and watch it. It's really cool. But you got to go watch it. Go watch it. He goes. It's a 1 hour. It's almost like 1 hour of going into it.
Does he think Trump is coming back?
He says there's a possibility. There's a possibility.
1 in 10?
Well, he just says it's a possibility. You know, he's not. He's CYA. He's covering his ass. You know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Hey, I want to talk to you guys about something that's really tugging at my strings. And, you know, there's been a lot of classified. We don't know if they're classified if they're top secret. We don't know what they are, really. We just hear there's documents floating around in the Biden camp.
We keep finding more and more, right?
I mean, is he just stupid? Is he really? I mean, come on. He knows those were there. Unless Hunter put him there and he didn't know. That's the only thing. So my question is, and this was one of the top articles on Zero Hedge this weekend. Why was Hunter Biden paying Joe Biden $50,000 per month to rent a house where classified documents were found? And the media there for a while was saying that Hunter Biden owned that house, but now we find out that it was rented. All right. So listen, this 52-year-old loser, Hunter Biden, crackhead Biden, began listing the Wilmington home as his own address. Oh yeah, he's like that Santos guy. he can't tell the truth. Anyway, and and this was following his 2017 divorce from his ex-wife, Catherine Buell. And he was falsely claiming that he owned that property on a July 2018 background check from as a part of a rental application. Did you know this? Oh, yeah, they've got it. They've got it. And in fact, I'm going to show you the rental application. Check this out. There it is, filled out. Some of it's been redacted, of course, so you can't see it all. But there you have it, Hunter Biden lying again. Not only did he lie about the gun, so he could carry a concealed weapon, but he did a background screening check with applied check and lied on it. And there was a Zillow search, and it reveals that the most expensive home currently for rent in Wilmington, Delaware, is going for $6,000 per month. Now think about that. No. The most expensive home. Check this out. See these homes? Here, I'll point. One right there, one right there, and one right there. So those homes are $6,000 a month. Those were the most expensive homes. Yet guess what? According to Town and Country magazine, Biden's home is worth around $2 million. So could Hunter, a crackhead, have accidentally listed the annual rent payment to his father for the house which contained classified documents? Sure he could. But why was his wealthy ex-vice president dad charging him rent in the first place when he was paying for his hookers and everything? Think about it. He was buying and probably buying, Dad, I need a bag of crack. Okay, son, I'm going to wire for Western Union the money. But, Dad, I need a hooker to go with my crack. And so anyway, he's charging him rent, and Hunter was allegedly broke. That's what I'm talking about here. And so let me say, Trending Politics asks the quiet part out loud. Was this Hunter's way of funneling money to his father? With a big question mark. And after Hunter's divorce was finalized in May of 2017, he was actually included in an email from his business partner, James Galar, about a venture with Chinese state-funded energy company CEFC China Energy. And the email stated that Hunter and his partners would receive 20% of the shares in this new business, with 10% going to Hunter's uncle, James Biden, and the other 10% held by H for the big guy. And Tony Bobulinski, another one of Hunter's former business partners, claims that he had a meeting with Joe Biden regarding the CEFC venture on May 2nd, 2017, and that the president was the individual referred to as the big guy in Galar's email. Well, additionally, Galar himself confirmed that Joe Biden was the big guy mentioned in a message that was found on the laptop, the forever famous laptop. And as the New York Post actually reports, the following year, federal investigators actually began looking into whether Hunter and his business associates violated tax and money laundering laws during the dealings in China and other countries. And there's emails and other records that are related to the deals were found on the laptop, which Hunter dropped off at the Delaware repair shop in 2019, and he never came back and reclaimed it. He was so cracked out, he probably forgot he left it there. Just leave it there. It ain't worth shit. It's only got daddy stuff on there. And he said, and I tell you, they say, I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years, Hunter told his daughter Naomi in January of 2019. I hope you can all do what I did and pay for everything for the entire family for 30 years. Hunter told his daughter Naomi this. And it's really hard, but don't worry. Unlike Pop, I won't make you give me half your salary. So, of course, Hunter paid his daddy $50,000 a month in rent. And there's a text that proves it. So, what they're saying is Joe Biden was the architect of the 1994 crime bill that sent millions of people to prison for doing what his son is doing right now. And that, my folks, watch this video. Thank you, Twitter, for this, by the way. Is that a crack pipe? Is that Joe Biden?
Bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand. $1/4 of $1. We passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Under our forfeiture statutes, the government can, take everything you own. Everything from your car to your house, your bank account, not merely what they confiscate in terms of the dollars from the transaction that you just got caught engaging in. They'll take everything. I don't care why they become a sociopath. We have an obligation. obligation to cordon them off from the rest of society. They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our family. So I want to ask, what made them do this? They must be taken off the street.
Wow. Andy, what do you think about that?
I mean, this
Robert.
not a lot to say at this point. We know about the corruption of the Biden crime family, and we know about the hypocrisy.
So, my question is, could it be that those documents have a lot of what we just saw pertaining in those documents that were classified, that were put away, supposedly put away, but they pulled it out because they didn't want it there? There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you're talking China, you're talking Ukraine. We don't know, and in fact, Jim Jordan has subpoenaed the archives to see if, to get those documents that were turned into the archives. I think we're going to find out a lot. It's interesting. We were talking, Rob, about, is this a ploy to get him to step down? Because
I think so.
Yeah, but and think about it. Can Biden really last 2 more years? I mean, come on.
Well,
They're already
Andy, people who are behind him.
Well, think about, but Andy,
who put him in there, and they'll remove him as soon as they see fit when it's to their advantage.
You don't see Biden coming out and talking to the press. He only goes, and it's usually, and they're sending him all over the world, right, to countries that don't understand what the fuck he's saying anyway, right? Or you know what I mean. They don't. They just let him speak, and because if he did it here in the United States. And so eventually, I think they're going to have to shut him down because they can't afford to lose for 2024. So they're grooming somebody, and I wouldn't doubt it if it was Hakeem Jeffries that they're grooming. This is just my thinking, because Hakeem Jeffries is a lot like who? Obama. And, oh, yeah. And you had all the King family, all standing. Everything was going on at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Georgia. You had Warnock that was there, invited him. So are they grooming the black folks now for 2024? That's what my thinking is. And it's interesting because I think what's going to end up happening, I'm just talking out loud, is that God help us, but Kamala would be next in line. But if Biden gets to the point where they can't put him out in public much longer, they got to put him away, right? So what better way to put him away is to impeach him, find more documents, and these documents, we still don't know what they are. But believe me, this is far from being over, because the people want to know, like you and me, and we all want to know what was in those documents. We knew they said that with Trump, it was nuclear, stuff that was found in there.
Yeah, that's forgot.
Well, yeah. So, anyway, let's get away from that. Let's talk about what's going on this week, because there's a lot going on, and I want to get you guys' input on this as well. This week is going to be a busy one for investors. Rob, you're kicking ass right now with your crypto. I mean, crypto just went from here to boom. I don't know how long it's going to stay there. I was saying I was at, 14 at one time, and now it's at 20, 21 over the weekend?
I mean, if you just go to glassnode.io, you'll see that, while
what do you call it?
The site's called Glassnode. You'll see that.
Glassnoids?
Node.
Nodes, like my noids?
Node, like a node.
Oh, node, like a note.
Node, N-O-D-E-S.
Oh, okay, N-O-D-E-S. Noids.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
right now my noids are disturbed.
What you'll see is like, into this pump, a lot of like wallet sizes with like, 1,000+ Bitcoin were actually selling into the pump what this pump is, it's not even a relief rally. What it is, it's like it's a short squeeze. So there was a massive liquidation on GMX and Binance, and because of the massive liquidations on shorts, you've seen this parabolic rise in the price of Bitcoin. I mean, I'm looking at maybe 19,300 to be hit by the end of the week or the middle of next week.
What number?
19,300.
It's going to go down.
Yeah. I mean, what we're seeing play out is just.
So you're saying that people are just putting it in there to push it back up? People are going in. Yeah, because think about it. You just told me what BlackRock did.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the only reason why the price went up was because
so these people like me that was thinking the other day, I should. In fact, let me tell you what I did. Thank God it didn't go through. I sent from my credit card into my account, but for some reason they rejected it because my bank won't let me deal with that. I won't say. But anyway, I don't know. My credit card got rejected for putting the money in there. And it's interesting because, I would have been up. I was just going to put it in, put it back down.
If you look at technical analysis,
I don't know a damn thing about cryptocurrency. I just know that it's digital air.
Bitcoin is right at like a level of resistance, and it doesn't look like it's going to break through.
So you think it's going to go back down to 19 by this Friday?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'll buy you a cake if it goes down by the middle of next week.
No, I think.
And I'm going to smush it in your face like you did Charlie.
I follow. I follow Cardano very closely, and Cardano did the same thing. It got right into this resistance range of about 37 cents. It's back down to 34, and it doesn't look like it's going to break.
Look
through
at the
that.
doggy coin. The doggy coin went up to 8 cents. I was like, wow.
But it doesn't look like this is the. I think we're close to the end of the bear market, but I don't feel like this is quite it.
Are you invested in crypto too?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, and I've been buying. I'm buying.
I know people that buy $200 every week, and I'm like, get out of there, and they're like, nope, I'm going to keep on buying.
If you dollar cost average, that's what we talk about with gold and silver, dollar cost averaging, because nobody knows the direction of the market. I don't care who you are, but the wisdom of dollar cost averaging means that you're going to get, if you invest in gold or silver with a monthly plan, that over a year you'll get a nice flat average price, and you'll build up a nice position, and you won't have to be worried about all the emotional highs and lows, because this is a long-term investment. This is looking at the big picture. This is playing the long game. This is not a temporary, get rich quick thing. And if you take that perspective, you're going to be fine, and you're not going to be worried about all these little blips and movements and everything like that. You have to get out of that mindset. That's a short-term kind of weak mindset. What
about gold? What about gold? Gold's up again over $1,900 and some odd dollars.
Yeah,
it's been riding over $1,900 now for a week.
Gold looks very, very strong right now.
They're saying that gold's going to outshine the crypto. And I've always said, Andy, I've always said, think about it. And I say this on Clyde Lewis's Ground Zero. And by the way, guys, go check out Clyde. I know he has some crazy things that he says, but he believes in them, and I believe in Clyde. So anyway, go check it out. He talks about space and aliens and all this other stuff and reptilians, but he also is a very diehard gold guy, just like myself. But anyway, here's one thing I say. Look, if digital air can be worth, what, $20,000? Then think about what something real can become worth. Think about that in your head right now. What can something real become worth? All right. Let me
just throw in the old, I think it was Andrew Carnegie quote: "Gold is money, everything else is debt."
Debt. Yeah.
Very
Paper
simple.
Instrument.
Very, very simple. That's what it's about.
Just burn it up with a lighter. Just paper on fire.
And if Russia and the BRICS nations, if they have some form of gold-backed currency, which it looks like they're doing, this is half the population of the world. You don't think a lot of money is going to flow in that direction? You're crazy if you think that people aren't going to say, "Hey, I have a currency that is partially backed by gold."
Yeah.
And then you have the other one that's just fiat currency. Bullshit. You better have something in gold.
Look at. I don't know if you saw. Remember, I told you guys that we're going to see massive layoffs, and it's going to look like COVID, but without the COVID. What's been happening? You just got BlackRock like that furniture company, if you're sitting at home, you didn't get fired in the office or you got fired by an email. It's so easy now. Like if you want to break up with the chick that you're with or the woman, you just send her an email. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry, Linda. But my ass is tired of you. You got to go now. And you just send them an email. And they're like, well, but anyway, hey, let's continue talking a little bit about what these world leaders and the CEOs are gathering right now in Davos.
Well, you were saying there are massive layoffs. Where?
3,500, I think it is, from BlackRock.
They laid off
3,500.
A lot of companies are.
What does that tell you? And these are major financial, number one financial institutions worth trillions of dollars, and they're laying off 3,500 people. What does that tell you? So anyway, you've got CEOs gathering. You got all these world leaders gathering at this Davos World Economic Forum. And by the way, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, now declares pedophiles will save humanity. Yes. So a controversial initiative that's being promoted in the corridors of power by Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum in Davos is set to have families and anyone who cares about children up in arms. I'm going to read this to you. The World Economic Forum, and thanks to Rob sending this over to me, I was like, got to be kidding. The World Economic Forum is now calling for the decriminalization. Like defund the cops. Decriminalization of sex with children, arguing that laws against age gap love, more commonly known as pedophilia, violate human rights.
Yeah, I think this is a report.
What the hell? This is sick.
Hey, this is, I mean, hey.
And this is what
this stuff Alex Jones has been talking about for.
Yes, all of it.
15 years,
Listen, we would hear about this happening. I'd have clients of mine. Did you hear what's going on underneath the White House? In the chambers underneath the White House? No, what happened? They're holding children down there. I'm like, what? Yeah, they're holding children down there. Well, we know that they're allowing it to come over the border and use these kids as sex toys. I mean, for real. They're being swapped, and they're being used as a sex toy.
You gotta look at some of the videos and photos of Joe Biden when he interacts with kids.
Oh my God!
Like,
he did it at Ebenezer Church. I'll have a picture with you, little. I mean, it was like, oh my God,
like,
creepy.
how old are you? Oh, 13. Oh, okay, 13. And he puts his hand directly underneath her chest, like
nipping their hair
on her ribs. Like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. You know, I always wondered. When I was a young kid. And I saw it, like the old creepy man would have either the little boy or the little girl. I never would, because I thought it was creepy even then when I was little. I didn't like my pictures taken either. But the old creepy man who might be one of your relatives or your neighbor or a friend of your friends or something. Come here, sit on my lap. Come sit on my lap. That creepy old man. And Santa Clauses, I never sat on a Santa Claus. I'd make a fit. So I'm like, you ain't putting me on his lap. I ain't going. Not for me. Anyway, but Rob, this is serious what they're talking about over there. So this Davos convention, all eyes are now focusing on the U.S. debt ceiling this week. That comes down this week. And it's either the market could crash over this. And let me tell you something. The Democrats are pissed off at the Republicans right now, and the Republicans don't give a damn. So it's going to be interesting to see if McCarthy or any of these guys fall, and we'll see if the debt ceiling is raised or if it's taken down. And Janet Yellen is screaming that it has to be raised. And if it isn't raised, she said the markets will crash. Humanity as we know it will be destroyed.
This happens like every, I don't know, 4 or 6 months.
But we haven't seen it since the House now has the pull on this.
I don't think they're going to do anything.
You think they'll allow the ceiling to go up?
Yeah. What else can they do? Yeah. The government.
So they'll just print more money?
The government borrows $3 billion every day. Borrows $3 billion every day.
So let me ask you this, Andy. Also, the bank earnings. There's a lot of numbers that are coming out this week while people are over there and celebrating, partying over there in Davos. Bank earnings are going to be, beat expectations despite the headwinds that are going on. And Monday, today, is Martin Luther King Day, meaning that the markets are now closed. But plenty of financial news is going to continue to roll in on the ongoing events that I'm about to explain, including the World Economic Forum at Davos and the World Future Energy Summit that is being held in Abu Dhabi. Did you know about that? Tuesday is going to bring the unveiling of the 2024 Corvette E-Ray. And this will be the first Corvette to be all-wheel drive as well as the first Corvette to include electric motors. Did you know that? Yeah. It's being unveiled tomorrow. And the supercar will still have a V8 engine and will have an energy recovery braking system similar to the Ferrari and the McLaren P1. Interesting. And the unveiling will coincide with the 70th anniversary of the original Corvette. Man, I wish I would have still had my Corvette. I can remember how Corvettes have always kept their value.
Your Corvette?
I had a Corvette when I was in my 20s. I had a 1982. Had a bubble window and everything.
How fast was
it? I don't even remember because I was always drunk and running into shit.
You and Dave, the great drivers.
No, Dave is worse than me.
No, he's yeah. I mean, I don't even drive with him.
Dave will make you shit your pants or pee. The way he gets up on those, I'm like, David, what's wrong with your foot? We're talking about my business partner, y'all. He like puts his foot down and lets it up. So the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, President John Williams is going to give a speech on equitable growth in the economy's future. And earnings for the week will kick off before the markets open with 3 highly anticipated earning reports, and that is from the Citizens Financial Group, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley. And after the bell, United Airlines will update investors on its earnings. That ought to be interesting because the airlines went through a lot of doo-doo this last few months, didn't they?
It's all a test. Remember, you got to think about what Klaus Schwab's been talking about, Operation Polygon.
You got it.
Next pandemic.
We should talk about Poly. This will be interesting because I'm sure they're going to be doing a new one. But the big piece of the economic data that's being released tomorrow will be the New York Federal Reserve's Manufacturing Index, which monitors New York State's business activity in December, and it dropped 16 points to minus 11.2%, and it's expected to see further decline. So what do you think that's going to do to the markets tomorrow? It's going to be that. I think
it could wreck the market.
It could. And let me tell you, on Wednesday, and we already know what's been going on with Amazon, Amazon will reportedly begin laying off employees.
Well, they have to.
Yeah,
but they're laying off more. And the tech giant originally announced plans to lay off 10,000 on November 30th, but they capitulated to laying off 18,000 Amazon employees on January 4th amid these worsening macroeconomic conditions. So they're laying off more tomorrow. Did y'all know that?
No.
Yeah. And this is all coming from reliable sources. This is coming from Yahoo Finance, by the way. So this is real. This is really happening. And earnings, let me share something else with you. Wednesday, 2 days from now, we'll also see the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, President James Bullard, participate in a Wall Street Journal webcast interview. That ought to be an interesting one. We'll be watching that. And earnings before the market open tomorrow will include Charles Schwab, J.B. Hunt Transportation Services, PNC Financial Services Group, and Prologis. the largest industrial real estate company in the world. I don't think those numbers are going to be very good. They can't be. And after the markets close, Alcoa and Discover Financial will report their earnings. Interesting.
These are all big companies.
This is all happening this week, starting tomorrow. And the economic data that's being released on Wednesday includes mortgage applications. We know about those right now.
They're tightening.
They're down,
Oh.
right? The producer price index,
That's the important right there.
that right there is going to be no good, I don't think. Inflation at the producer level, retail sales, industrial production, business inventories, and the NAHB housing market index. So, and then you have Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, like I say, and she warned on Friday that the United States could reach its debt ceiling as early as this Thursday. And this could cause the U.S. to default on its debt as early as June if Congress does not take action. And the total will swell to $31.381 trillion. So in other news, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, President John Williams, will participate in a hybrid event that's hosted by the Fixed Income Analyst Society at the Cornell Club in New York City. And it will also be a busy morning for investors with earnings before the markets opening coming from Comerica, Fastenal, Fifth Third, T Corp, MT Bank, Northern Trust, Procter Gamble, and Cinevis Financial.
You know, from what I read,
these aren't going to be good.
Yeah, but from what I read, this sounds like we're looking in the mirror of what took place in 2007, because in 2007, the economy, the market, all these businesses were facing the same situations. But then, you know, a year later, that's when the Federal Reserve announced that we were in a full-blown recession.
Yeah.
Right. So it looks like what's happening is leading up to the announcement by the Feds that, hey, listen, we're in a recession, and that, I think that's when you'll see
this is where it could come from.
The markets crash. Yeah.
Because didn't Bullard, the St. Louis guy, talk about, he said we're already, he said something about quietly we're in a recession.
Technical recession.
And this is all coming down to this right here.
Well, what's the technical
These
recession?
are big numbers this
we're
week.
Down 20%, so it's considered a technical recession. I mean, it's a recession's a recession, right?
Well, listen, let me just go on a little bit.
But the bottom line is this: what we're seeing right now is the same mirror of 2007, right before the announcement in 2008 from the Feds that we're in an actual recession. You're probably going to see the market go down. You can probably see crypto go down and then bottom out, and then that's when you'll probably see a pivot.
It's interesting you say that, because everything that they're talking about here, these are the real numbers. This is really what's going on in the United States economy. And streaming giant Netflix will also dominate the headlines this week with its quarterly results. And investors will key in on the subscriber growth as well as its margins. And the economic data on investors' radar will include, listen to this, building permits, housing starts, initial jobless claims, the Philly Fed Business Index, and the EIA weekly crude stocks. And then on Friday, earnings before the markets open will finish out the week and will include Ally Financial, Huntington Bank Shares, Regions Financial, SLB, and State Street. And existing home sales will close out the week's batch of economic data and is expected to fall to 3.95 million from December's 4.9 million as the housing market continues to face challenges. So why am I telling you this? Because it's important. That's why I'm about to give you this number, 800-753-8534. It's Monday. You can get around this. Give us a call tomorrow. If you're listening to this, you're hearing the numbers that are coming in this week. So those of you that are old enough because I've been getting a lot of calls from the younger ones that are less than 59 and a half years old. And remember, you have to be 59 and a half years old in order to move and roll over a 401k into an IRA, provided that you're still working with that that employer. And if you are 59 and a half years old or you have an IRA, get smart. Don't be dumb. Transfer or roll over into an IRA that you can back with something that's physical, like gold and silver.
Yeah, so I give you guys a great example. I mean, I spoke with one of the listeners to our show last Monday. I'm not going to say any names, but he is a truck driver, does local delivery jobs, really nice guy, out of Colorado. And, you know, he told me, he's like, hey, I saw your video about, you know, how the debt's increasing, how they're looking to create financial slaves to the system. And I figured hear about this gold thing. So I spoke to him. I scheduled an appointment with Dave because I had, you know, appointments back to back, so I really didn't have much time for him at the time. Actually, you know, go into depth, right? Dave spoke with him. You know, come to find out, this guy has been working local truck jobs for, I don't know, 37 years. You know, he just turned 59. No, I'm sorry, he just turned 61, and he was considering rolling over his 401k for a long time into the stock market, not into gold, until he had to hear what we had to say, until he received the retirement guide that we sent out to him after his opt-in. And over the weekend, you know, Alexis, you know, wrote up an application for $377,000.
There you go.
And he's deciding to do a full rollover.
Oh, he's doing a pool.
He's going to do a full rollover. Okay. I mean, I think we're going to speak with him again today because he has a lot of tax questions and stuff like that about in-kind distributions.
Yeah.
So either I'm speaking with him or you are Dave speaking with him today too. So
call.
This guy's super motivated, but he's motivated because we made it make sense to him on why it's so important for him to protect his money instead of risking it out.
And he didn't have to pay any taxes to move it over because it stays tax deferred.
That's right, and that's what we're going to explain to him today. He just has questions about when he does take an RMD, you know, just real questions he's had. That's all.
You know, in 10 years, the age for an RMD is going to be 75 years old.
Oh, yeah.
75, yeah. Now it's 72 and a half. And
you have your money. Look at the process going on right now because they can't access
their pensions are barely even making it. Remember, how do you think these countries afford to pay you money in a pension? It's not money that they're sticking away and they got in the bank waiting for you. No, they're gambling. They're gambling. They're gambling in the casino. And I don't mean like Harrah's or MGM. Speaking of that, Las Vegas is in a lot of trouble right now. And those numbers are going to come through. Yeah, I was reading. So they're saying that.
I would say Dana White's doing good. Dana's doing well.
Let me tell you something, what's going on in Las Vegas right now. That's not so true. There's right now, nobody is lending money. See, in order to do construction in Las Vegas, you got to have lenders. Right. No one is lending. And a lot of projects now are being squashed in Las Vegas. And they were talking about how, you know, the only thing that ever shut the Vegas Strip down was the pandemic. Well, there could be more than that shutting this casinos down. Look at There's no money.
Let's talk about what's hitting home right now.
Maybe they can get a Bitcoin.
Hey,
maybe they get a digital token.
Hey, listen, you know, there's over 100,000 tokens right now available for purchase.
That ain't very many.
Almost 80% of these bullshit tokens are going to be decimated. The only real tokens, 95. All the real legitimate assets will still be around. But no, yeah.
Hey, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me
piggyback off what you're talking about in Vegas.
This just came in from Huckabee. Huckabee says it's time for you to diversify with gold. Mike Huckabee. My friend, with all the stress-inducing news out there right now,
don't plug
some people are starting to believe America has reached an inflection point. If you agree and you still have money tied up in a traditional asset like savings accounts, 401ks, and real estate, ancient wisdom may reveal a way to help safeguard your financial future. The word is what I've been saying all along. Thank you, Mike Huckabee. It's diversification. I had enough to say. Do you guys want to say anything more? Hey, do I look sharp in this shirt? People
Yeah,
say,
I just want to add that the inability of many people, ordinary people, not to see what's going on is very shocking to me. And we try to present you facts. We try to present you clear signs and indications that the financial system is really on the verge of collapsing. It truly is.
Yeah.
And we don't have a sound structure to our financial system. This is the reality. So I want everybody out there to know that you can take action, you can preserve your wealth, you can protect your wealth, you could do things. There are things in your power you can do to take back your power, which is the original American idea of we're supposed to be independent, free people, and we're supposed to be self-sufficient. And we don't want a tyranny over us. We don't want a king. We don't want the World Economic Forum. We don't want Klaus Schwab. We don't want Bill Gates.
yeah, but what we don't want, we got. And
No,
there's nothing we can do about it.
No,
According to Penny.
we can do,
Right.
and you know, and you know, the United States has always had a certain divine providence because the founders of this country conceived this nation as being a nation under God, and that's part of the United States, and we do have to return to that because we have to get back to the fundamental values that this country is based on, or it won't exist, and this country will become just like any other country, and the power.
Well, this is a
tyrannical
worldwide
powers will reign in the world.
Andy, remember, this is all about the Great Reset.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what this whole thing has been about from day one. This is what Davos talks about. This is what Schwab wants. They want a reset so they can take everything back and then have it their own way. It's like McDonald's. Have it your own way.
No, it's Burger King.
Oh, is it Burger King? Okay. Burger King, have it your own way.
Hold the pickles.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce.
Special orders, don't upset us.
I don't eat Burger King. Do you eat Burger King?
Neither do I.
All right.
No, Rob does.
Are you teaching today?
No, we have.
So you're off on this Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah.
What's his name, Martin Luther or Luther Martin?
You got to give it to MLK.
Martin Luther King. Okay.
You got to give it to MLK. You know,
MLK.
MLK. You got to give it.
That sounds like a milkshake.
I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here speaking with the Indian guy or the Jewish guy.
There ain't a damn bit of Indian in you.
If it wasn't for MLK.
You'd
be up on a farm in Iowa right now. Shucking corn.
No, detasseling.
Detasseling corn.
Shucking corn.
Oh,
it looks like they're shipping our. Wait a minute. They said we are shipping your screen. We should have it confirmation shortly. Awesome.
big screen's coming.
No, it's not the original one. It's not the one that. So the pixels are a little different on this one. I got the best one coming, right?
When's that coming?
Well, it's been back ordered, and they're like I was talking to the CEO of the company last one. Man, did I talk? I was mad.
Yeah.
I was mad. And he's like, well, he said, you're the only one. He says, you're one of those that wants the 1.9 instead of the 2.6. I'm like, I want the best, right? We're going to use it. We want the best. And he's like, well, I'm going to send out to you, and I'm going to have somebody come and even set it up for you.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we're going to get it next week. And then they're going to swap it out with the original one.
Oh, so we're going to have one in the meantime and then get. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. So I can send you to Israel if I want to.
You can send me anywhere, huh?
I can put you in the basement if I wanted to, and you can't.
I want to go into space.
No, I'm gonna put you in the basement. Rob, we put you in the basement. I could send you to space. You might not come back.
I'm gonna go with Romeo. I'm gonna take Romeo.
Romeo go with you. No, I don't know. Romeo don't go nowhere with nobody but me. He just right, Ro?
Tasha knows that.
Yeah. Tasha got a welcome gift.
She's not been here since.
Well, she just texted me as well. She'll be here.
Don't you think Romeo needs some obedience, some training or something?
That pisses me off. when people say that. I really get pissed off when some guy told me one time I was walking my dog. He's like, I can tell what kind of dog that's going to be. And I'm like, mind your own business.
But Romeo's
when you start talking about Romeo, you're talking about me because he's part of my soul. You ever watch that show?
Can I just say,
His Dark Materials or His Dark Matters? Romeo is my demon.
Romeo has attacked me. He's attacked Charlie 3 or 4 times.
Did he bring blood, Andy?
No, he didn't.
So he didn't attack you.
He attacked Joshua.
What do you mean attack?
Attack is an attack.
No, an attack is if they bring blood.
Rob had his puppy here.
He never attacked the
last
puppy.
week, and that is the sweetest dog in the world.
He's a puppy.
So friendly to everybody.
It's not a he. It's a she.
She.
You don't even know what damn kind of dog it is.
Sweetest dog. You know, and
what do you want? A poodle?
It's nice to have a dog around that you don't worry about. It's going to attack you.
I could actually see Andy with a poodle. Andy, you like poodles?
No, I don't.
What kind of dog would you have? No, let's.
I see him with a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
My sister, who I hope is watching the show, he had a Rhodesian.
Oh, hey, sister.
Great dog, yeah.
Sister, I know I have a bad mouth at times, but this coffee speeds me up and gets me riled up.
We apologize about that. That
I just not thought about that, sister.
Chris, we like you a lot. You always comment.
Yeah.
Chris is crazy.
You know, my mama always used to wash my mouth out with soap. But you know what? It's all in fun. It just shows all our personality, right? And we really enjoy it doing this show. And I can't wait till we get the screen because then I'm going to take us out and I'm going to put us like all over the place, like IRL and all that. We'll get people calling in and commenting and all that crap. I see some.
How do you know about IRL?
Because I watch some of this stuff because I need to learn. I need to teach myself. Or I could put us on another platform.
Is there any particular IRL person that you watch?
There's a lot of IRLs out there. I watch some crazy ass stuff on IRL. But I want the communication, you know. I want the serious people out there. I don't want the little kids out there watching. And first of all, they shouldn't be watching. Their parents should have them censored.
That's true.
They really should.
That's true.
I know when I put on here, it's not for children because this isn't for children.
It's an adult show.
You know, I'm not. What was that pink dinosaur's name?
Pluto? Or no, I'm sorry.
Pluto.
Barney.
Barney. Whatever happened to Barney?
Well, let's not even get into that. Okay?
Did Barney die?
No.
Did Barney become gay?
He got sued.
Because Barney was gay?
No, because he was showing signs. They were showing signs of pedophilia.
Really? Barney?
Let's go hide into our magical kingdom. And, you know, and
he was just wanting to get him in the magical kingdom.
No, but the stuff they did inside the magical kingdom.
What did he do inside the magical kingdom?
You know, it's disgusting.
Oh, I have to look into this.
Kids lay on their stomach,
really?
Patting their ass, and you know.
No.
It's fucking weird. And then the other one, there was multiple.
Whatever happened to Charlie Brown and Snoopy and Linus with the you know, he always had.
Hey, but you guys want alpha?
Is he bad too? Is that gay?
You guys want some crypto alpha?
What?
There's a company I follow. They're VCs, and they come out with massive projects. On average, their multipliers for their projects are about 500. Meaning, if you put 1,000 in, you walk away with 500 grand. Right? That means the average of all their projects that came out has a 500x multiple. They're actually be coming out very soon with an artificial intelligence launchpad or an AI launchpad or an artificial intelligence coin with utility, right? Almost like Chat GPT.
Right? How did we go from? My head just went 100 miles an hour.
This project that I hear that's coming out.
They're doing pedophile too.
You may want to stack up on some ADA pad, some BSC pad, and any other their launch pads, right? This project, I can guarantee you can turn $1,000 into $3 million.
Well, that went from pedophilia to Launchpad, 3 million, 500,000.
We're all over the place.
I don't even know what the heck that is. I want to tell you something though that's interesting. Do y'all eat Girl Scout cookies? So Girl Scout cookies has become said that brownies are racist. The brownie cookie.
The name brownie.
Yeah, no more brownie cookies. Oh, and they were yummy. Now it's called Embers. Yeah, Girl Scout cookies are dropping the name brownies to
On that
embers.
note, I gotta make some
EMBERS. All right. God bless every single one of you. You got the warnings this week of what's getting ready to happen. Protect yourself with a retirement account called a self-directed IRA. And get yourself into some gold and silver. Everybody left me in the. I'm all here by myself. Romeo's over here. Hey, Ro. Say hi, Ro. Oh.
Hi, Ro.
Hey, let me. Can you see? Call Romeo over there. Let me see if he
Romeo.
can. There we go.
Boy, good boy. Here he is.
There's the Romeo.
Romo.
Romeo
Good
is.
boy.
Yeah.